Hello and welcome back to yet another episode of Minecraft with Dark Ally 123 on 2b2t. I'm back. Due to the new queuing system, I can get back in. And so I've decided to come in and record another episode. I haven't been able to do this in a significant period of time because all the people were on 2b2t and I refused to queue. But now, with the priority given to legacy people, I can get on. Here are some of the people that are currently on. 150 players. So really, I'm not back. I'm not going to be recording weekly episodes. I'm back to just basically check and see whether anyone's found my my fortress here in my lair. So I'm going to go up, but let's just get out for a minute. Don't want to stupidly die of drowning to only discover that someone's destroyed my bed. That would be dumb. Anyway, so back to my lair here. Actually, I want to put up a new sign. Oh, and someone has. So great. Thank you very much for leaving your sign. That's today's date is actually, this is just like a month ago. So today's date is July 23rd. So this is a month ago. What's interesting is I posted my video publicly on July 17th, and so this is like a week later. There was a pre-release about a week before, the 4th, I think it was. So that people could have found it that way. So I wanted to also make a sign up here, just let people know. Okay. So it's been found. It hasn't been demolished, but it's been found. Not that it's a huge distance away from spawn or something else, which would render it less likely to be found. Also, the number of people that are currently online. Let me just triple it before I leave this place. I don't think I've got anything. I would have got looked through previously. Let's just see if there's anything left in the chest. Oh, yeah. Some materials and stuff. And yep, doesn't look like anything particularly useful. I do have a flint. Good. Before I go back through. So I'm going to just go on the nether and let's see if my nether portal, the nether side, is in any significant danger. Pop through. There we are. Doesn't look like this has been demolished. Okay, I'm just going to take a brief break here to get myself back towards my underground lair, and so I'll see you guys when I'm walking through the nether. Okay. Unfortunately, I couldn't remember the exact path to get back to my underground lair, so I was walking through the nether with the coordinates on rather than talking to you guys. So I'm now back at my lair, and now it's July the 24th, and here are the people that are currently on 2b2t. Hello all. Looks like my lair, let's turn it this way, is intact. I don't see that all the chests are still there, the bookshelves are still there. So, I mean, it's possible that it has been grief there. So let's go down inside and have a look. So turn the light bit there. So, all right, that's still fine. So the tree farm, this is the archery range here. Yeah, I might as well talk a little bit about my lair here. Empty room. So, as I mentioned previously, this layer is built around a skeleton spawner. So the interior of the layer is, if I'm standing here, the spawner can be working. Although the spawner has a light switch. And you see this is the top of the spawner here, all nicely lit up with redstone lamps, so that while those lamps are on, the skeletons aren't spawning. Yay. And then the main level here, and this is where everything is, and my bed is still here, so it doesn't look like anyone has been here. And then collections of stuff. Get a lot of bows and things. The advantage here of putting some more netherrack. While I was walking through the nether, I was just collecting huge amounts of netherrack. Don't ask me why. It wasn't like I was chopping it, it was just lying around. So I was probably following someone else's path that they just recently made. Okay, so yeah, so this is the main area here. This is where the it uses a pretty standard, pretty standard water elevator drop. The difference here is the drop's only 20 blocks. So they, I know you can do like 22, I think it is, 21, 22, and you know, leave them with one heart. But I was finding that the skeletons were dying. I think that some of them had gotten some damage maybe inside the spawner. So left them with a little more heart, but I mean, a simple stone sword would take care of them. So then grind up a bunch of levels, the enchantment table here, and my nether chest, which is the only place to put stuff that you want to keep in on Minecraft. Even stuff which is in your inventory is not safe. I gotta figure out some place to put some diamond. So the crafting table and a looting 3 sword. Yay, nice. Okay, I also have a skeleton spawner in here. This is what originally was going to be here. I think that's off. Yeah, that's off. So the spiders can be spawning, and then they go into a drowning trap. I'll show that down here. So I've tried to, you know, put some smooth stone in and get rid of any cobble. There's some cobble there. Should get rid of it. So the drowning trap here. I also have a lava blade. That it turns out that I was thought that was necessary to take care of any skeleton riders. But turns out it's not. And then down here, the drowning trap comes to these chests, which are just basically full of string and some arrows and bones. I get enough arrows and bones out of the skeleton spawner. I had plans initially for putting an elevator in, item elevator in here using droppers, but just did not work. 2v2t with what's the TPS right now? Not half bad. I've seen much worse, but with that kind of TPS, it hurts. And then down here's my farm. So the lovely stuff. Anyway, so you stand above and grind the skeletons and get the farm going. Nice place to come back to every time you die. So I'm glad that people have not found it. Okay, so how do I do that? Yeah, doesn't matter. So let's give some talk to, let me go upstairs into the archery. Okay, so talk about two subjects here. One is the impact of me of the rushers and everything else. I guess the influx of new players on 2v2t. And I was June 2nd, which is when I recorded my last video. It was just around the start of that, and really had no impact on me other than not wanting to go anywhere close to spawn. But then, of course, the massive influx meant that I couldn't get on the queuing. I refused to queue. I have better ways to spend my free time than waiting to get on 2v2t. So I figured I'd just wait, and eventually people would lose interest, and I'd get back to checking and see what I've done here. Is my base still around? Yep, my base is still around. Actually, I want to be upstairs. I'll leave. After this, I'll leave so that if someone decides to grief my base, I'm not in it when that happens. Just really want to come in. I'm still not. I have little interest in continuing to play 2v2t. I mean, I've seen, enjoy Dr. Zombies, even Fitz, or Mike, Are You Mine? Your video is sort of interesting to watch and see some more of the sites around 2v2t. But I'm probably not going to spend much time looking for the sites myself. I've built and I've died and all the other bits. I haven't been to the end, but I'm not going to bother working with the end on 2v2t. Nor am I going to take a, quote, side in this rushers versus veterans. I consider myself neither in this. Talk a bit about the war here. One thing, I mean, 2v2t has always picked up the occasional new player, including myself. I'll rank myself one of those. Who's either stumbled across some reference on Reddit or Dr. Zombie's YouTube videos, or I remember as well. I think there's in one of the Minecraft books it references 2v2t. And comes in and is watching. If you're watching the chat at that moment, you always see this like where's the trees, where's the food, and if they played on other Minecraft sites, they may have asked for food, or how do I teleport, or what other stuff, and we all laugh and tell them to /kill something to, and sometimes they'd fall for it. So, I mean, I originally, had some plans of taking care, building a farm or something else, helping out the new people that come in. But the point being is that there were a small number of new people coming onto the server. And so the majority of the players, whoops, I've been idle. No, that's fine. The majority of the players would, it's a majority versus minority. So, I mean, the majority of the people are looking at can absorb that minority, and the minority either can stay around and be assimilated or can leave. Well, now we have the roles are flipped. So the people getting on are new players with their own set of ideas about how Minecraft should be played. And maybe they're following Russia, maybe they're not. But all of a sudden, there's a flip on majority versus minority, and the minority is objecting to the fact that their unwritten rules and ways of doing things have begotten are being not being followed. So, what will happen in the future? Who knows? I mean, this is the community makes the server. So the community is that, especially in the absence of an administrator, or someone that decrees that you were using a hack and therefore you must do the pickle video in order to get back unbanned. In the absence of that sort of godlike authority, instead, the community builds it and the community decides. The one thing on 2B2T is it can take a community to build something, but it only takes one person to destroy it, especially if they have duped TNT or other love or whatever else to make use of. So I'll go back to so that's my little bit on that. The next step, next thing I want to mention. Let me get back in here. Hold on. Right in here. The next thing on this is maybe I'll just go down here and get that looting sword. Kill some skeletons while I'm waiting. Not that I need to. Just something to do. So hiding. How do you hide your base? You don't. I think one of the things I've tried to show with these videos is that with client hacks you cannot hide your base. Basically, the way that the Minecraft protocol, client server protocol, works is the server sends to the client a full list of all blocks that the client can see, are within the range, the render range. So the client can and then decides what is visible to the player, and in the case of a little X-ray mod, it shows, hey, you have. I can see through walls. I can see stuff. I can draw lines, pointing directly to a bed or chest or whatever other stuff that you want to do. So there's not a way of preventing that. That is just built in. That is part of the protocol. That is inherent to the way this works. Let me take care of it. So, what's the only other way? The only other way is distance, raw, plain distance. Oh, one is keep it secret. Is that if you tell someone, secret shared is no longer a secret anymore because you've lost control. So, as soon as you reveal the coordinates to someone else for whatever reason, whether that person is trustworthy or not, you end up with potentially that information being passed along to someone else, and from there to someone else, and from there to someone else. Or someone just isn't as careful. I was trying to get some featherfall boots. Look at all the boots that I went through, and I think I still ended up with. Yeah, I have gold ones. I probably took off one of the skeletons. The looting sword. where's it going? So distance is the first thing. Probably should do use some of the the methods of hiding something, whether building underground or something else, just because if someone is not using a hack client, it doesn't seem to be generating too much. Yeah. If someone's not using a hack client, they won't find it as easily. I said that in response to one of the questions, I mean, in order to find it, you either have to be lucky or determined. I'm not certain who that one person that did find my fortress was, one or the other. Not that I tried to really hide it. Again, it's out in the overworld. It's directly linked by to its matching nether fortress by a portal. Portals can be I can point directly to something. I mean, although I have a portal in my base, it's one way. It doesn't. That if you go back through it, it doesn't come back right to here. I have to do some walking over the overworld. That's one thing there. Oh, if you do build portals and you go through, knock the corners off the other end so that people don't immediately say, "Ah, that's a generated portal," and because that becomes obvious that's someone built the portal on the other end. Yep. So I mean, make a person work for it. So if they go through the portal, it doesn't actually end up in your base. It ends up somewhere else, and you have to then know which direction to walk in. 1,000 blocks at least or something. Again, so that render distance is not a factor. The actually we can do that. I don't have them. So the other is don't leave a path to your base. So path through the nether, and you want to basically leave no trace. You want to walk, without leaving a path that person can follow right to your base. In the nether, you want to walk through the nether and don't create a nice nether path right to the portal, which then leads to your base. No, wrong answer. You want the person to have to work for it. The person has to find it, either through determined investigation. And by the way, there's a huge amount of space on 2b2t. I put in my comment hectares and hectares and hectares, or acres and acres and acres. I mean, there's just huge, huge numbers of area. That person can search to find the base. So that's about it. I mean, so don't want to make it easy for someone to find your base, and just don't make it easy to find. But if there's no way to prevent a person from finding your base if they're determined enough. And maybe just by accident. Person's walking through the overworld and boop, and that's how I found a lot of my bases. It was just like, well, that looks like an interesting portal. Let's go through it. Oh, hey, this is an interesting base. I mean, lithium carbonate's iron, didn't help having the mobs go through the you sit there and say, why am I seeing cows in the or sheep in the nether? I should need to investigate that portal, and I do. So anyway, so this is episode 27. I'll be putting it up shortly. Don't expect to see. Oh, I will say one other side effect of the massive influx of new players are my number of subscribers, comments, and other views, etc. Went up double, triple, 10 times, whatever. And I do appreciate everyone that's done that. However, as I say, don't expect to see a another video from me anytime soon. If you're subscribed, you'll be notified if I put anything up. I have no idea. I mean, again, my first step is to say, is my lair still around, or do I need to build a new one? And is my my fortress been found, or what signs have people left behind? And then I don't know. We'll see if this, maybe it's go look at all the whatever the rushers have built, these sanctuaries or other stuff, and otherwise, thank you for watching. I'll talk to you later.